Hello everyone, Dr. Jaime Trent here. Welcome to day 15. So today we're going to talk in detail a little bit about grains. So grains is one that most people think that they need to have every day in every meal. And usually when we're consuming these grains, the most common one is wheat. We're over consuming it and it's really causing a lot of problems. So we really need to start getting those grains out of our diet. So we're going to go through kind of some reasons why. Number one, like I just mentioned, they have a tendency to be very highly processed. So they're going to be very high in calories and very low in nutrients. Another reason is a lot of grains cause digestive issues. So that's one of the top things I see in my practice is digestion problems. So getting those grains out can actually help reduce those digestion problems. They're also very inflammatory. Again, can cause more achy pains, can cause gut problems, can cause fatigue, sleep problems, about anything like that. Gluten, like I mentioned, wheat, and gluten is that protein found in wheat. You always hear about people going gluten-free. You know, I always say, is there any scientific reason to do that? And yes. So some people are sensitive to gluten. They just can't break it down and it will cause a lot of problems. It could cause leaky gut. It can increase autoimmunities, especially when we're looking at thyroid issues. It can really upregulate that attack on the thyroid gland. So yes, there is definitely some scientific proof to removing gluten from your diet. But I find a lot of people will do that and they still don't feel any better. A lot of times it's because we actually need to remove the grains from the diet also. The other reason that all the grains kind of do is it has a tendency to really spike blood sugar. So we've talked a lot about trying not to spike blood sugar, keeping it more stable with that fat and that protein. And grains and sugar are your two big ones that are going to spike that blood sugar. So that's another reason to get the grains out. Another one is just most of the grains, like I said, we're eating a lot of them. Soy and corn are two other ones that are usually genetically modified and very, very heavily sprayed with pesticides. So, and usually when you're eating processed food, you're getting wheat, corn, and soy in that one. If you're not looking at the ingredients and really aware of what you're eating, which Micah is going to jump on later today and talk in more detail about how to read ingredients on packages. So, the last one is, of course, eating, no, I think I hit on all. I'm sorry. I think I already hit on all those. So, but what grains, like I said, gluten and wheat, that's usually the main ones most people are consuming. So there is one benefit to grains that we may need in our diet. Now, we don't need it every day. We don't need it every meal, but maybe once or twice a week after this program, or grains are switching from grains to pseudo grains. So on your program guide, you'll have a list of gluten-free pseudo grains. So they're not completely a grain, but they're still going to have those resistant starches that our gut actually needs. So that is really the biggest benefit that you're going to get from any pseudo grain or grain, is going to be that resistant starch that is going to help feed those probiotics in our gut. So that's going to be about the only benefit and reason to have that in your diet. And again, not every day, maybe once or twice a week. So what are some ideas of some pseudo grains? Quinoa is probably one of the favorites for a lot of people. You can pretty much use that in any way that you would use rice. Also wild rice. So when skipping over the brown or the white rice and going to a wild rice, it's going to have kind of a different blend in there. That's going to have a lot more resistant starch and more nutrient dense. Another one, buckwheat, I've never personally done much with. Amaranth is another one I haven't done a lot with. But those are just some other options. But like I said, you should have a full list. Teff and millet. Those are the other ones I've never done much with. We usually do quinoa or wild rice. Another one that's not in there is oats. Oats is one, again, that does have that good resistant starch. And sometimes it's just a simple way for people to get in grains. Again, if you have any blood sugar issues, if you are trying to lose weight, things like that, you probably don't want to bring oats in. Or if you still have a lot of digestive issues that you haven't figured out or anything like that, you may want to hold off. But for some people, bringing in oats just once a week, you know, for that breakfast, as long as I use a organic sprouted gluten-free oat. So that's what I say. You've got to make sure you're getting a good quality, or a steel cut oat. That's going to be a better one also. But again, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself because a lot of people on this program are not going to be ready to bring that in. So that's going to be something to maybe bring in once you've kind of met your goal weight and you're feeling pretty good and just kind of want to get a little variety in. So, okay guys, well, have a great rest of your day.